7:30. So let's call this meeting to order. Mr. Clerk, roll call.
Supervisor Kern,
Here.
Trustee Ronsky,
Present.
Trustee Durango,
Here.
Trustee Holzer, absent. Trustee Mitchell,
Here.
Highway Commissioner Alstrom,
Here.
and Tax Assessor Peterson.
Yes, sir.
And,
You have a quorum.
who am I missing? That's it.
Okay, let's do the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next we have public comment. Is there anybody here from the public that would like to make a comment regarding Wheatland Township business? If so, please state your name. Going once, going twice. Okay, hearing none, public comments closed. Clerk report, Mr. Peabody, welcome to the Township Board.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here. Let's see. Everybody received in their packet and I think by email also.
Oops, can I interrupt you?
Yes, sir.
Because this is Deb calling in. Hello? Yeah, we're just starting. You want to participate? All right. All right, well, we're gonna try to work it out on my cell phone here, okay? So I'm gonna turn up the volume and we'll see what happens.
You can put on speaker. Deb?
How's this? Can you hear anything?
Deb, can you hear us?
Okay. All right, I'm gonna make a motion to allow Deb Holscher to participate by phone in this meeting due to her absence out of town attending to a family emergency. Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, any discussion? And that this is allowed according to the state Open Meetings Act. That you can participate by phone if you are out of town in a family emergency or a business. So, roll call. Let's do a roll call on this.
All right. Supervisor Kern,
Yes?
Trustee Ronsky,
Yes.
Trustee Durango,
Yes.
Trustee, can Deb vote on this?
She probably should abstain, probably.
Trustee Holzer? Abstain?
Can you hear Deb?
I'm here, but I'm not hearing what's being said.
You can't hear what Rick said?
Oh, no, I can hear you just fine.
Well, I think you're too far away, so.
Trustee Holzer, abstain?
Can you, we're doing a roll call here to allow you to participate. Are you hearing that?
Yes, I am. I heard everybody say yes, and I'm appreciative, and I want to say yay too.
All right. Go ahead.
And Trustee Mitchell?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, so Deb, we're at the clerk's report right now, and Rick was just getting started.
Thank you.
All right, in your packet you have the minutes for the general meeting of October 9th. And I'd like to get can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I move to approve the meeting minutes of Thursday, October 9th, 2014.
Second?
A second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the minutes of October 9th? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
We got a roll
Oh,
call.
roll call, all, okay, roll call. Gotta get used to it. Supervisor Kern,
Yes?
Trustee Mitchell,
Yes.
Trustee Durango,
Yes.
Trustee Ronsky,
Yes.
Trustee Holzer.
Yes.
All right. Also in your packet, you have the minutes from the special board meeting of Tuesday, October 14th. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes, please?
I move to approve the minutes from October 14th.
Second?
I second the motion.
Any discussion? All right, vote Supervisor Kern,
Yes.
Trustee Mitchell,
Yes.
Trustee Durango,
Yes.
Trustee Ronski,
Yes.
Trustee Holscher,
We're gonna have to abstain on that one, guys, because I haven't been able to get to the,
He's abstaining.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. I'd also like to report, we received one FOIA request, which was answered with the information requested on October 11th.
Okay. Anybody got anything else for the clerk? All right. Highway Commissioner?
Well, I sent everybody a written report, but I will highlight a couple of things because I thought it was really an outstanding job by the team this year. We replaced almost 30 culverts this year, and to give an example of what that is, on a regular year in the past, say, 25 years, there might have been 6 to 8 culverts replaced. So this was 4 to 5 times what's ever been done. We did almost a half a mile of ditches by recutting them and reestablishing grade and new culverts for that. ADA, we did our first ADA project ever in the township. And we did 16, I think we did 16 crosswalks. And to give an example, those mats that are 2 by 4 feet cost they cost $25 a square foot. So those mats, mats alone cost $200. So it's expensive project to do. And we are in the process, we just started, we're gonna be replacing our vehicle fleet. When I came in a couple of months ago, I found that 2 of the vehicles we use mostly throughout each day are 12 years old and 15 years old. You get in the truck, the rust falls out. You close the door, the rust falls out. You touch the side of the panel, there's rust holes and everything. So I've got one vehicle ordered already, and next year, if everything goes well, I will replace the oldest vehicle we have and get rid of the second oldest vehicle we have. So that's about all I've got. Anybody has any questions?
Bill, is all of that stuff done by contract work, or do the guys do that,
Which,
the
ADA.
ADA?
the ADA stuff, we asked about 4 different firms to give us a price for that, because it was kind of an emergency thing. We had one firm get back with us, and what we found out is that with the downsizing in the construction industry in the last 7 years, there aren't a lot of concrete companies anymore out there. The ones that are out there are very, very busy. So we were able to get it done prior to the weather going bad with a firm that gave us a good deal. I consulted with our engineer and told him the price that this person had quoted us. He said it was a fair price. It was right in the middle of the road when it comes to doing it. So we went with it and got it done.
Cool. Are those local companies?
It's actually a local company out of Plainfield. Yes.
Excellent,
I
right.
tried to get one out of Wheatland, but he was too busy. So,
And who does the culvert?
the culverts,
Culvert,
we do those ourselves.
yeah.
All the culverts we do ourselves. We order from underground pipe and shorewood.
Great. You're right, the guys did do a phenomenal job then.
They worked very hard.
Yeah, I bet.
Anything else for Bill?
thanks for the check.
I'm sorry, Deb?
Hi, guys. I got a lot of road going too, and I just think this is gonna say that I don't want to be distracted to the meeting, so I think that I need to check out here.
I think she's driving. Okay,
Okay.
all right, we'll close it out.
Thank you very much, guys, for that meeting, and, yeah, have a good evening.
All right,
All
Deb.
right, thank you, Deb.
All right, so why don't we note for the record that she left at 7:38. Okay, the assessor is absent, but he did give us a brief report, so let me just highlight it a little bit for the record. He said that the appeals are winding down for 2014. We've been able to settle most of our complaints and have had very few hearings held at the county this year. As we look forward to 2015, it's a quadrennial year. We must, by statute, take a look at every parcel in the township. We have to do this because every resident has had the opportunity to appeal their assessments on its own merits against their own comparables, and we then make adjustments when warranted. The quad enables us to go back through the township and make every subdivision equitable. So that is this month's report. Supervisor's report. Item A. Discussion and approval of 2015 holiday schedule. Everybody should have that, which is the same as the 2014 holiday schedule. Do I have a motion to approve the 2015 holiday schedule?
I move to approve the 2015 holiday schedule.
Second that.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, roll call.
I maybe do it again.
Yep.
Just can't get my stacks in order here yet. Too many of them here. All right.
I know what you mean.
Trustee Kern,
Yes.
trustee Mitchell,
Yes.
supervisor Kern, excuse me.
Oh,
I'm looking.
no, I'll say no then.
I'm looking at one place and
Yeah,
reading.
bust it
another.
down.
Trustee Durango,
Yes.
trustee Ronski,
Yes.
and trustee Holscher is not here. Okay.
Okay, motion passes 4-0. Next item, motion to approve the meeting schedule for 2015.
I move to approve the meeting schedule for 2015.
I second the motion.
Okay, and this is maintaining the second Thursday of the month at 7:30. Bill, did you say something about wanting to move to 7 o'clock, or is that,
Is 7 o'clock too early?
Jeff, is that too early for you?
Not really, I mean, it wouldn't matter.
I mean, does it
I'm
matter?
kinda used to 7:30, I mean, whatever you guys do, let's make it a point now to figure it.
I mean, do we have a reason to move it to 7 o'clock, I guess is my question.
Only because you got home a little earlier, which I'm not opposed to.
You've been getting home
7's
early
fine with
tonight.
me.
Well, the only thing I'll say is this worked out good because my daughter goes to bed at 7, but, so I was able to come home, have dinner with the family, bathe her, help my wife put her to bed, so that was positive. That's one thing for me, but if you guys wanna try to make it earlier, you know, it's fine, it doesn't matter to me.
Time fluctuates for me, you know, so either way, I'll do the best I can to, you know. to
Does
continue to
7:30
make-
work better with your work schedule though?
That's just it, it fluctuates so much on
It wouldn't
a
matter.
bi-weekly basis that
I'd
I
be
have to
inclined
take
to
and do
leave
some
it at
maneuvering.
7:30 because, unless, just for continuity, just for, even just for the public.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
the
'cause
public
it's
gets
been
to
7:30 for a long
7:30, why
time.
would we wanna irritate everyone and, you know, oh, now it's 7. you
Okay,
know?
let's do it, 7:30.
Okay, so, all right, roll call.
Supervisor Kern,
Yes.
trustee Mitchell,
Yes.
trustee Durango,
Indeed.
trustee Ronski,
Yes,
Motion passes 4-0. Item C, motion to approve proposed 2015 tax levies. Well, well, well. So what we have to approve tonight is we have to publicize our proposed levy for 21 days. Okay? So we have to hang it up on the wall out here and let the public review it. I guess, do we have to put it in the paper too?
probably doesn't hurt.
And then, so the plan is that tonight we would approve a proposed levy for public viewing. And then at the December meeting, we would approve the actual ordinance after we've had, an opportunity to hear from the public, et cetera. And then after we do that, then the clerk will file the ordinance down in Joliet it's gotta be done by the last week in December, and if that doesn't get done, of course, that's a major problem, because then we get no money. So this is rather critical. So what we have, first of all, is the town fund, and what is being proposed here is a levy of $978,868. Now, that is been the levy for the last 4 years, exactly that. The last year, what we did was we approved that number as the levy number, and as soon as we did that, we immediately abated that down to 0. Okay, so we had a 0 on the tax bill last year. And so, unfortunately for the taxpayers, we can't do that again this year because we don't have enough money to run a second year with no income. So we're gonna have to get some income this year. So so the $978,868 is, in effect, will be the ceiling. That would be the most that we could take in, okay? So what we can do is, if we approve just, and also, we only have about 7 months of financial data here from this year. So we don't really know what we're gonna need next year yet, really. We kinda know, but we kinda don't know. So we simply need to get something approved, and then we will come back, say, in February or March, as the picture becomes more clear, and then we can do an abatement at that time. And I'm sure we will need to do an abatement, because if you look at page 1 here on the town fund ordinance, it says, under general town fund, it says capital outlay, $184,000, okay? Well, that's the money that they were accruing every year to build a new building that never got built, okay? So why would we want to levy for that, for example?
So what you're
So
saying,
we can just take that, we can just abate that right off the bat in February or March, and any other amount that we feel we
So
need.
essentially reduce it by 20%, since we're not gonna be taxing the people for something they're not gonna.
Oh, absolutely, there's no
Hey,
reason to take on, to more, I mean, we already have reserves. We don't need more reserves.
Does this have anything to do with the highway department?
no,
That's
they're
separate.
separate.
Okay.
That's separate. So anyway, that is what's being proposed to you tonight so this is just like the first look. We get something going, and then we come back as we get into the budgeting process for next year. Then we really, so in other words, we only do this one time. So in the spring, when we've got more knowledge, and then we just abate from this now.
Okay.
So that's what is being proposed to you this evening. So,
You could, help
Well,
me fill in my.
let's, excuse me, do we get a motion to approve this yet? So we'll do that, and then we'll have a discussion.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Can we get-
We need to approve this
Yeah, we
as
need
a
to-
draft tonight, so
So
it can
we
be
need a motion,
All right.
we need a motion to approve.
Come on in.
All right. Motion to approve the document township levy for the town fund as presented.
I move to approve it, the ordinance number 1412.
Well, we're not actually gonna
Oh.
approve the ordinance, but we're gonna approve the proposed.
Proposed 2015 tax levy.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I move to approve the proposed 2015 tax levy.
Second?
I will second that.
Okay, discussion, Ben?
Just a question, if we sell this property out, when we sell this property out here, where does that money go? Chuck, does it go
Just
into this
to the
town
general,
fund? The general fund. Would that be considered potentially, I guess, surplus down the line?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So that's not a
That's
factor.
another,
for-
that's another reason to kind of, hold off a little bit longer, because
Yeah,
if we get that coming in, then we'll need that much less. Yeah.
So we could adjust that and give that back by abating it and give it back to the taxpayers.
Is there a particular reason or that we're leaving this 184 in and then taking it out as opposed to just eliminating it altogether?
Well, we could go through here and
I understand, I'm just asking, that's when
It
we
doesn't-
know it's gonna go out way 100%.
it's going to go out, it doesn't really matter.
All right, I didn't know if there was a reason to do it one way or the other.
These numbers are just a starting point for
Absolutely. It's the
budgetary
seal,
purposes.
it's the ceiling. So in other words, we're establishing this as the ceiling right now, just for simplicity.
Understood.
So anything else, any other comments or questions on this?
Very clear.
Okay, good. Let's go ahead and roll call this one then.
Supervisor Kern,
Yes?
Trustee Mitchell,
yes.
Trustee Randall,
Yes.
Trustee Ronski.
Yes.
Okay, so the next proposed levy is for the road district. I'll let Bill cover that, because we need to approve that proposal also.
All right, for the road district, the first number we're gonna look at is gonna be that $650,000 that is going to be coming out of the, that's gonna be,
What page are we looking at?
page 3, is it?
Three.
That $650,000 is is the fund that we share with Plainfield, Naperville, and Bolingbrook. They get half. So half of that 650 is lopped off immediately. Once we get it, we don't even get it. It goes to Plainfield, Naperville, and Bolingbrook to take care of the roads within the township. That's just the way it works. It's been doing that for 50 years. So we get half of that. Special Hard Road is
What page?
page 4 on Special Hard Road. That's gonna be $875. We get all of that. And that is going up this year by $25,000. And if I see, once they get the figures in and we get the hard numbers in, if I see that's going to raise the tax rate, I will abate it to make sure that the tax rate from this year going into next year does not go up. And I've been told by Will County and told by our assessor's office that there's been about $50 million more in property added to the tax rolls. So by doing that, that's about 2%. Just in natural growth, that 2% should give me that $25,000 I asked for, so the tax rate will not go up. But if it does, I'll abate it down. And I'll be using the extra $25,000 for the road program, which is going to be well over $1 million. So I'm using every penny I can possibly get on the first year next year for the roads.
After the motion to approve, can we have discussion?
Sure.
So the eights,
So let's go ahead and get a motion to approve.
Need a motion to approve the draft of the ordinance 14-13-0 for the annual tax levy for the roads.
I move to approve the draft of the ordinance 14-13.
Second.
I second the motion.
Okay, discussion?
Well, go ahead, Jim, so you
Go
had a
ahead,
question
somebody had a
first, so go ahead.
yeah, this 875 bill, just 0.250% is added to this number here?
No, that's the rate. The rate,
That's the rate.
we will either get $875,000 or the rate of 0.25%. It's either or, and we will get the smaller of the two. That's what we'll get. So it's not both. We'll either get the percentage or the 875, whichever is less. That's why you write it in there like that, because if you do 875, that percentage could go way up. So that's why you put both in there, to make sure that percentage doesn't go real high. And part of the problem also, the reason I'm adding the extras for a number of years, probably for at least a 10 to 12 year period of time back in the early 2000s, late 90s, the highway department was basically changing the date on levies and budgets from year to year to year, asking for the exact same amount of money. And for the highway department, what that does, if you don't ask for enough, you lose your motor fuel tax. And the motor fuel tax is what people pay for every gallon of gas they get. The township, it's whittled down. The township is the very last body of government to get that. And it's not a lot, but it ends up being anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000 a month. So if people drive like they normally drive, we could get $50,000 a year. And typically, what we've done with it in Wheatland Township, when we've gotten it, is we use that to pay for our salt. So if you don't levy appropriately, you lose that. There's no reason to lose that.
So is this 875, does this come out of tax dollars, or is this part of the fuel tax?
875 is tax dollars.
Okay, so.
Property
Property
tax.
tax.
Shown
Property
property
tax.
tax.
Okay, so that has nothing
Motor
to
fuel is
do with the
entirely
full
different.
fuel
That
tax.
goes to the state of Illinois, then it filters down to Will County, then you have to ask Will County for permission to use the motor fuel. They oversee that.
But the township gets a piece of that if you apply for that,
You don't have to apply for
or
that.
whatever
You have to
the
appropriately
process is?
levy. What the state of Illinois says, if you don't levy appropriately, if you levy too little, the state of Illinois says you must not need motor fuel, so we're not gonna give it to you. You must have so much money, you don't need that tax. So as long as you keep the levy constant and consistent, then you get the motor fuel tax.
For the hard roads
Correct.
specifically?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Just for that?
And for a number of years, the highway commissioner wasn't doing that and was losing out to the tune of $40,000 to $50,000 a year.
Mhm.
And that goes to, if we don't get it, it goes to Plainfield Township, Naperville Township, they give it to the township surrounding it. So they did pretty well when Wheatland wasn't getting it.
Okay. And on the front part, on page 3, you said we get half of
We get
that
half of that.
650?
Yep. Absolutely. 325 of it is split between Plainfield, Naperville, and Bolingbrook.
And that's because
That's because of state law, because they have to maintain the roads as well within the township. So roads like 103rd, most of that is Naperville, but we give them part of our tax levy in order to maintain that,
Okay.
because it's within the township.
So we don't have to ever take care of that as long as they're getting this money?
That piece that lands
Yes.
within
Section,
Naperville's
correct.
jurisdiction.
It's
Yeah.
theirs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, it's like a fair share, if you will.
Sure.
Exactly,
Okay.
for the most part.
Sort of.
Can I raise a question?
You may.
I'm sorry, were you-
No, go ahead,
Okay.
Please.
Referring back to a couple meetings ago when we discussed the entire scope of what's going on with the quality of the roads and how they haven't necessarily been properly maintained. I know that this is going to be a question later, but I want everyone to think about this, is yes, we don't want to raise taxes, but we also don't want the roads and our infrastructure to crumble beneath us. So going back to the report that we had received, how does this fare with the level of roads that we need to repair and what our timeline is based on our horrible winter we had, additional repairs, all those things that we discussed earlier this year? Does this kind of follow suit with what we need to keep us moving in the right direction to keep up with our infrastructure?
Yes, as long as we don't have anything drastic happen, there will be money to make sure, I'm gonna try to be ahead of schedule,
Yes,
because that program, I believe, is 7 years.
yes.
I'm gonna try to do it in 6, but it's really gonna take just about every cent we have,
Okay.
but keeping a fair amount in surplus for bridges, for anything else crazy
Okay.
happening, so.
I don't want to get too into the weeds because I know this is a draft, but
Yeah.
I just wanted us to think about that because we have had this discussion, put
Yes.
money into this
I think
report.
we thought about that, right? I'm sure,
We should be okay.
Thanks, Raquel.
Thank you,
Okay,
thank
so
you.
I motioned, did we already
We
motion?
already had a motion, right?
Motion.
Any
Roll
further
call.
discussion?
You already
Roll call.
seconded it.
Sorry, I
This-
already,
this'll be-
already got
this'll
put in my
become-
place by Raquel, so, all done.
This will be coming back to you next month, so you'll have another crack at it.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call.
Supervisor Kern,
Yes?
trustee Mitchell,
Yes.
trustee Durando,
Yes.
trustee Ronski.
Yes.
Passes 4-0. Next on the agenda, item D, approval of intergovernmental agreement with Plainfield Park District. Everybody get a look at that?
Yes.
I would have liked to see a sketch.
I have a sketch.
Oh, you're gonna love this.
I have a sketch.
I want to see your cocktail napkins.
There it is, right there.
Really?
That's the sketch. That's
I
it.
think I have a
Most
sketch.
pathetic excuse for a sketch.
Yeah, we all have a sketch.
This is our high-tech sketch of the
Us and
of the
them.
map.
The PowerPoint
And what I
presentation
have
I'll
on here,
show
and for those of you in the audience, I have on a magic marker here, us and
You
them.
wanna give them a sketch?
Okay.
All right, so the northeast quadrant of the park that butts up to the southwest quadrant of what
Yeah.
they're owning.
So that's exactly it. There's, if you can see there, they're, Plainfield has just had about 3 acres turned over to them, right next to the Springs apartment building at 127, by the developer there for a park. And they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do with it. So in the meantime, they're going to wanna seed it and mow it. And that's really all they're gonna do with it right now. So there's about a 40-foot strip that connects our land and their land. So what they wanna do is come in, the only way they can, they're landlocked. The only way they can get to their land is to come into our parking lot and traverse over our property. That's it, they have no choice. So, for now anyway, because it's all private property surrounding them. So anyway, that's what they're asking for. It's a 5-year agreement, but it could be canceled after 30 days by either party, so it's not a problem. So, you know, if something's going haywire, we can just cancel it. But that's basically what they're gonna do. They don't have any plans right now for further development. I don't know how much they can do anyway. It's only 3 acres. I mean, you can't really even put in fields out there, any baseball fields, not enough room. They have no room for parking. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I think they were kinda talking about maybe putting a walking path there, or eventually they wanna extend a greenway or a bike path from the river kind of across to the west, and they might wanna use this, but there's just not a lot they can do with it unless they acquire more land, so they may also do that. They may also wanna acquire land further to the east. I don't know if it's available, but they might try. Or, at some point in time, they may want to acquire our park. So, we shall see. They haven't made any moves to do that. I don't know if they have the money to do that, or the interest. Maybe they have no interest, I have no idea, but who knows what the future holds. So anyway, for the time being, there's a